Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video about, well, in this video we're going to be talking about the Lystrosaurus. Now this guy is highly useless, in all honesty. If we're going to be totally honest, this thing is basically, after the egg update and kibble changes, is one of the most useless tames in the game now, because yes, it does lay eggs pretty fast, yes, it poops pretty fast, but the dodo does both of those things better. It has zero fighting capability. About the only thing that this thing has going for it, and I'll show you real quick right here by giving it some, I don't know, a little bit of health, is the fact that it literally can store a little bit of stuff. So if you just crank weight on this thing, you can get it up to an acceptable amount. So it can maybe store your blueprints, it can maybe store a couple of turrets, and people don't usually go after Lystosauruses just simply due to the fact that they've got such a low value to them. They might kill them accidentally and not check their inventory, but that's about it. But before we get there, let's talk about what the Lystrosaurus actually does, because this is my review series, and, you know, I want to review what this actually is right here, and that's just, you know, what we're going to talk about. So the Lystrosaurus, it has zero valuable stats, other than maybe weight. It has one special function that gives it a little bit of use, and that's, if you want to call it that. So if you pet it, you'll see that little, like, XP buff go up. Now, it's a very small range. The more lystros you have, the larger radius that XP buff has. But what it does is it actually makes it so that any dino that has that little green arrow above them, while the Lystrosaurus is present, gets a 1.3 times XP boost. Now, the more Lystrosaurus that you have, the wider that buff range goes. So I guess the only reason that I can think of an lystro being any valuable at all, well, I guess there's two. One, strap some C4 to it, drop it from the sky, and it'll go boom, boom. Two is if you are using the grinder in order to level your tames, and someone activates the grinder and then activates a Lystrosaurus, you'll get 130% value for XP gain, so 33%-ish more than you would just by sitting next to a normal grinder. So it would be a little bit faster, but we're talking marginal at best, because 30% isn't that much, considering that, I mean, 30% is a lot, but when it comes to just having to sit still and do something, the Lystrosaurus, and this is, I guess, my biggest complaint. I'll go on a little bit of a tangent here. After the kibble update, some of the tames in Ark have zero value, and I feel like that's just ruined some of the tames. Like the Lystrosaurus has no value anymore. Gallimimus, no value anymore. Carnotaurus, no value anymore. There are a lot of tames that are just wild creatures, and other than having them for like a hilarious accomplishment and feeling achieved, there's just no value. So they need to change some of the dinos around and give them some like additional perks or bonuses. Maybe the Lystro could somehow like double or triple and increase that XP boost, so people are like, oh, gotta have me some Lystros, or maybe like their higher health means they get more XP boost. I don't know. I just feel like they need to change it around a little bit so people can have a little bit more value in the Lystros, and there's just some fundamental changes they need. I still love the game, but there's some fundamental changes that need to happen, in my opinion, to make dinos like these useful again. Not so it's just like your typical Giganotosaurus, Rexes, and general tames like that. I want people to try and tame these for some fun too. Alright, anyways, well, we're going to move on, but the Lystrosaurus is my Dino a Day review, and that's today. Alright, Teach. Out.